Welcome to Opportunities. This is where you're going to be managing the entire process and flow of your sales and marketing, your business. We're going to be creating a pipeline inside of pipelines. We're going to be creating opportunities inside of opportunities. We're going to be going through how you can select which pipeline as well. You can easily search opportunities. You can even sort by certain dates, and you can filter opportunities as well. Export your opportunities. When it comes to selecting additional information, you can select what things that you want to see inside of your opportunities. We'll revisit this again when it comes to managing the detailed contact cards when we get to that section. And then creating an opportunity itself. And this is what we call the opportunity card that has everything you need to be able to manage that opportunity, from adding just the first name, email, phone number, selecting the opportunity, calling it a name, which pipeline. We're going to be talking about stages and statuses, adding a dollar opportunity values, creating an opportunity source, business name, tags, and even the ability to create a custom field as well inside of your opportunities. So lots of things we're going to be covering here when it comes to opportunities. So let's get started. Before we start working directly with opportunities, we need to create a pipeline. This is what you'll see right here in the top category when you see these steps into your sales process, for example, or steps into your service process or your support process. I like starting out with 3 simple pipelines. Your business could be different. You can label any pipeline however you'd like that's going to be most effective to helping you manage your business. The sales pipeline is the best way to get started so you can house your new leads, your follow-up, your additional follow-up if they didn't respond, if won or lost the deal. Another process or pipeline you might want to set up would be a service pipeline, which is what happens after the sale. And then a third pipeline would be maybe for additional support depending on products or services that you're offering. And these are just things like asking for a review request, growing your business by asking for referrals, maybe you have reward campaigns, birthday campaigns, and other types of campaigns. Think of it as selling to your customers, what happens after the sale, and then supporting your customers. So when you create a new pipeline, your pipeline's going to look like this. So I recommend giving it a name, in which case we named ours sales. So you can give it a name, and then what you want to do is select the stage name. The first step in the sales process is to get a new lead. The second step would be maybe to call the lead. The third step would be to follow up with the lead. Maybe you're booking appointments, set appointment. So you can easily add your stage names here. On the right side are actions. This is where we can show on the pie chart on the dashboard. Now, certain stages of your pipeline you can easily hide because you don't need the data, but I recommend managing this data because you want to see how many people you want to follow up, how many leads you want to follow up with. Right here, you'll see visible on the funnel chart. You can turn this on for the whole entire pipeline, or you could say visible in the pie chart or not. This is just the visibility of what's seen on your dashboard. While you're getting started, I recommend making sure everything is lit up. So as you begin to manage your dashboard and look at your pipelines and look at your settings, you can see where everything is. So you can see right here, I've got sales, and you can see my steps to the sales process. Service, you can see my steps to the service. And then support, you can also see each step and who's in there based on the pipeline that I select. So it's really important to go ahead and start setting up a real simple pipeline for yourself. This is where you'll want to pause the video and take a look at your actual sales process, what happens after the sale, and then how do you plan on supporting your customers after the sale and following up with them to keep continuous communication with them. Once you have these set up, then we're ready to start managing our opportunities based on the pipeline we set up. You'll see the pipeline here. So I can select pipeline 1, pipeline 2, pipeline 3, and we can begin to start managing our opportunities. Go set that up. We can always go back into our pipelines, edit it, and if you need to add another stage in the future, let's say you forgot one, you just put in the stage and use this little arrow up to bring back up to the point of the process of where you forgot. You can always delete and save. And that's it. So go ahead and start creating a pipeline for your business and get started adding the information in so you can easily start managing those opportunities. More than likely, your opportunities won't have these cards in just yet. So I think the first thing that we should do is definitely add an opportunity manually. Now you can add a demo opportunity, or maybe you've got a customer that you want to put in that you've been working or a potential lead. Now's a great time to practice adding in an opportunity manually. One of the things that you can do is you have this quick feature here on your dashboard where you can add a contact, book an appointment, send a review, create an opportunity. And you can do that from here. But my favorite thing to do is if it's a person I'm just maybe talking to on the phone, what I have to do is instead of creating a contact, doing all that, trying to figure out all their information, all I have to do is come over here and select add opportunity. And when I do, I can put in the contact name. If I already have them, they'll be listed here. But if I want to put a new contact name, let's do new contact. And right here, you'll hit plus, new contact. It's going to create a new contact, and I'll just do contact@gmail.com. And if I know their phone number, I can put in phone number here. And then now I'm into the opportunity details. We can instantly put in a contact, or we can find a contact from our already imported contacts. So we've got the contact taken care of. Now, what about the opportunity details? This is where we would put opportunity name. And I'm going to show you just one quick little tip that I like to do, which is putting in the contact custom field in the opportunity name, or calling the opportunity the contact name. So in this particular case, let's call it new contact, because that would be their first and last name. The reason why I like to do that is because if you look over here, you'll see the bold as being their name. So we want to make sure that we know who the contact is. Now you can list it out by opportunity name. Let's say, for example, it's new product or new service. But then it's going to be not as easy to reference when you're looking through all your opportunities. So I strongly recommend using the opportunity name as the contact. You'll thank me later. Down here, we're going to see the pipeline. Now that you've created your pipeline, you can select your pipeline of choice. And now we're going to talk about stage and status. Now, stage, I will explain one more time. Now, stages, I will explain. Now we're going to briefly cover stages and status. The basic thing that you need to know is the stages. Where are they at in the pipeline stage that you set up? So for example, if they were a new lead or a follow-up, where are they in that pipeline's process? So you would say new lead. Now status is where we do open, lost, won, or abandoned. Lost, won, or abandoned. In this particular case, it's a new opportunity, so we want to leave it open. If there's an opportunity value, I recommend adding that value. So let's say this value is going to be $5,000. This would be the value of your product, your service, or whatever it is that you're selling. Now, if you have assigned users, this is where you would put the account owner. If it's you, if it's somebody on your team, if you're assigning users, this is where they would go. And if there's any other following users, this is where that would go as well. The business name, if you want to add the business name, and the opportunity source could be, let's say this one's a call-in. Because I'm on the phone, I put their contact information in, I put their details, and now I just want to tag it. Let's just tag it lead. And like I said, you can add your tags. We've showed you can do those however you like. It could be tagged by the product that you're talking about or that you're planning on selling, anything like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to click create. But before we do, I want to show you this little bitty settings button where it says add and manage fields. When I click on this button before I hit save, it takes me back to the fields. So if there was a custom field, let's say I wanted to add an opportunity field that was going to be a specific opportunity field, this is where I would go in and I would want to add that specific opportunity field. And that's just for tracking, reporting, and adding custom fields into an opportunity. Now, you want to make sure that you don't click this unless you have to completely leave your contact tab. Otherwise, you'll have to re-enter all of your contact details. So make sure that you have all of your custom fields already set and ready to go. And then you'll see in here where those would show up. So I'm going to go ahead and create this new contact and new opportunity at the same time. You'll see it's been successfully created, and look what happened. Now my card is updated. Now you can see my new contact, where you can see opportunities, book an appointment, any task I want to do, notes I want to assign, and anything else that I would like to add into this contact tab. I'm going to go ahead and close it out because I want to show you where it showed up here. Now you'll see the new contact. You'll see the source, which is the lower kind of gray. The new contact, the name or the contact name, which I said if you put the contact's first name and last name in, when you click on this, it's going to open up the entire contact card. So then we can go in and update our contact. And you'll be back where you started with column 1, 2, 3 of your contacts tab. You can go in and make any edits, send them a text, send them an email, whatever you'd like to do in here. But let's go ahead and go back to the opportunity. And all I did was click that little arrow back to get here. And what we want to do is we want to manage the opportunity. So when I click call in, the part that's not bold, which is the actual source, now you can see it opens the entire contact tab. So I really recommend giving it a source. Could be website lead, could be chat widget lead, Facebook lead, Google lead. You always want to keep an opportunity source in there. And we'll talk about that more in reporting to show you where your leads are coming from. Now I have my contact card created. Now it's time to start working with the contact. Now that we've got a contact in, I want to show you how you can organize your contact before we start talking about stages and statuses. Before you start filling up your dashboard, there's a couple of things that you want to know. You already know that the bold is going to take you to the contact, and the gray colored, the not bold, is going to open up the opportunity. But there's a few more things that you can do. Now, one of the things that I really like to do is over here in the menu. When you click on the menu, you'll select these 3 dots. We can export, and you'll see this little button that says additional information. Whatever I check here is going to show here. So for example, if you don't see the note right here, it means it hasn't been selected. If you don't see the company name, it's because it hasn't been selected. So if you're working with B2B and you want to have that company name in there, definitely check that. You only want to make sure that you can see your task notes and calendar events. And then once you hit apply, and you'll see these icons right here. Now that you've set up the dashboard exactly the way you want it, now we want to get into the actual card. So you can easily click this to make a call, and it'll start dialing the number. You can also click this little button for View Conversations, and look what happens. It took us right to the Conversations tab to show what conversations we have. You'll see the email, the phone number, and of course, anything I want to update, I can also update and hit save right here. If I arrow back, guess what? It's going to take me right back to the opportunities, so I can easily toggle between the two. And you'll see right here when I click on the lead that has the tag on it, it'll take me right back to the opportunities where I can come in and I can change that lead or tag that I'd like and hit update. When you highlight, you'll see that it says lead. That's the tag. So if you have multiple tags, it'll show multiple tags as well. Now right here, this is going to be add a note. This is also add a task, and this is add an appointment. So any one of these that you select is going to open this card and bring you right here. So that took me right to the notes. I can easily add a note and hit the blue button that says add a note. If I want to add a task, it takes me to the taskbar. I can assign myself a task to call this person later, or I can assign it to another member of my team, select the due date and the time. Then over here, if I want to add a booking, when I click add booking, look where it takes me, book, update appointment. I can then select the calendar that we've chosen, select any information, meeting, appointment title, which again, I recommend using the contact's first name, and book appointment. Now, I showed you earlier when you open up the contact, we talked about stage and status. We're going to go through that next in a little bit more detail. Let's talk about stages and status. This is going to be really important, especially when it comes to managing those opportunities. When you created a pipeline, and you had originally set up your first pipeline. This is what we call stages. You see the stage name. So you have it based on the process. So as an example, this would be your sales process. A new lead comes in, they're in the new lead stage. If you made a call, maybe they're in the follow-up stage, maybe they're in another additional follow-up stage. Maybe they're not responding. Maybe you'd put them as abandoned after a certain amount of time, or you could say lost or won. So you can set up your stage names however you'd like. You don't have to do abandoned, lost, or won. We'll talk about these in a minute, but you can have as many stages that you need in order to create your pipeline based on your process. I recommend keeping it very simple. You'll also be able to use workflows and automation once you move one contact card into another stage where it can trigger or ignite an entire workflow based on where you put them in the status. So up here, this top bar, these are all of your stages. And I usually will do a lost, a won, or abandoned just because I want to be able to see and move them around. Let's say we're talking to new contact. If you notice, I'm clicking my button and I'm dragging and I can drop it here. At the very bottom, you'll see lost, abandoned, and won. Lost, abandoned, and won is what we're going to call your status. Those are actions that are going to help you close out the contact. So let's say new contact came in, we talked to them, we made a sell. I would come in here and I can open up the card. You'll see pipeline. You'll see my stage. I can put it to 1. I can do the dollar amount that I sold them. And then right here where it says status, this is where you want to change this to 1. I'm going to go ahead and click 1 so you can see what it looks like. And I'll select update. This new contact should also be in 1. All right. So we're not seeing it here. Why would that be? That's because we have our filters on. When you click on filters, this is where you would filter if you only want to see open statuses or any other type of filter. I'm going to go ahead and close this and you can see all the ways that you can use filters. You can filter it by account owner or who it's assigned to. You can filter it by status. Maybe you only want to see all the ones today. So you can easily toggle the filters however you'd like. Maybe you're running a specific campaign, the last stage it was, when was it created, when was it updated, what's the lead value. Maybe you want to sort by more or less. Opportunity won on, opportunity lost on. When was the date that it won? When was the date that it lost? So what I did was I turned off that filter so you won't see any little icons or anything here. So now when you look at my one, you'll see all of the ones that I've won in green. If they were lost, it would say lost. So let's move this over and let me just update this card. All I got to do is click it. And let's say I moved this to the lost stage. I'm going to go ahead and hit update. And you'll see right here, lost. If I put it to abandon, abandon would be gray. So if I set her to response abandon, I would want to move this to abandon. So the trick to this, if you want to manage this effectively, you definitely want to make sure that your stage and your status is set once you've lost, won, or abandoned the deal. If it's still open, you want to leave it to open because remember, you can filter out what's closed and what's not. You can also filter out by stage. So you want to make sure if it is abandoned that you put it on the abandoned. Now you don't have to do this. You can have it just called no response and set it to abandon and know exactly what you've done. For the sake of this demo, I just made it really easy so that way you could see how things work. And you'll see the gray abandoned right here, and there we have it. Now when we go to export the report, we can actually export the report and it'll pull everything out that we want. You can sort and manage and run your business effectively based on just that simple export. You could run it, bring it to an Excel, sort them. There's so many things that you can do with it. It's great to be able to see these here. But through time, you're going to have it where these are going to fill up, where these ones could be from 6 months, a year ago, etc., in which case we do want to set our filters. We do want to leave it to only open, or we can actually come down here and we can say opportunity one. If we wanted to just do opportunities one this month, then we would now have a filter that would say opportunities one this month. Or you can add an or, and we can say status, I want to see open, or I want to see any opportunities that I've won this month. So if I moved it to one, you would see that this particular business was one. And when I click on it, it shows that it was one this month. You can easily change those filters however you'd like. The most important thing to remember is that you understand that you've got stages of your pipeline, your process, your steps to your sales, your support, what happens after the sale. And it's also great to have the support because you never lose sight of continually being in front of them and managing your pipeline effectively, knowing who your customers are, where they are, what stages they're in, and what status they are. And again, there's so many things that you can do when it comes to opportunities and using workflows. So you want to organize this now effectively. So when we get to workflows, you're going to feel really comfortable about creating your own automation and your own workflows on how you want to manage your day-to-day business. What can be automated? What can't be automated? So these are very important things to know. Stages are going to be the stages, or what we call the steps right here to each of your pipeline process. And the status is going to tell you if it's an open lead that you're actively working, or an open customer that you're actually serving, or an open customer that you're actually continuing to stay into that pipeline, or it could be abandoned, lost, or won. And you can easily use workflows to continue to market to your abandons without having to do major blasts and have them continually be marketed to until they decide they want to either stop, unsubscribe, in which case you put them to lost, or until they decide that they want to become a customer. Again, stages or steps, statuses, closes out the account. And you can easily filter and adjust these to see it exactly the way you want on your opportunities dashboard. That's going to help you effectively manage your opportunities, your stages, and your status. When it comes to managing opportunities, if you have one person that you want to be in multiple stages within one pipeline, if you're trying to add that person again to the same opportunity and you've gotten an error, I want to show you how you can fix that. You just go into your account settings, you go to your business profile, and when you scroll all the way down, what you're looking for is the General tab inside your business profile, and you want to make sure that you select Allow Duplicate Opportunities. With that being checked, it's going to allow you to have the same person that could be in different stages within that pipeline. It's a real easy fix if you do have several people coming and going into the same pipeline and using the same opportunity. Now let's talk about exporting your opportunities. I showed you this a little earlier where you can search opportunities by looking for a name and be able to find the opportunity. You can sort by the opportunity. You can filter. Right here on the menu, I showed you the export function. I'm going to go ahead and click on the export function, and it's going to prepare my export. Let me go ahead and open up this CSV so that way you can see what the export looks like. And you'll see right here what happened was I have my filter on. It was looking for my test and it only exported my test. So what we want to do is we want to get all the information inside of the filter. You want to make sure that if you want your filters to be on, you have these. This is what's going to show. If we clear the filters, and you see right here, I've cleared out all the filters. Then when I come in here and I go to export my list, now I'm going to see the entire list. And I'll show you what this looks like. We've got 10 opportunities. Let's go ahead and open up this Excel. And now you'll see a better report on what we just did. And this is what it looks like. So we've got the opportunity name, which is usually the contact name, the phone number. You've got the email. Then you've got the pipeline it's in that you're exporting. You have your stages, remember, won, lost, abandoned, new lead, whatever it is that's based on that pipeline. Then you have your lead value, which is your dollar amount, this source to where the lead came from, if it was assigned. And then you can see right here the date added, the date updated, the tags, the notes, and the status. So you can easily sort all of these and run whatever type of report that you'd like to run. Exporting reports is really good when it comes to matching up totals with what was sold that month, this month, last month, things that are sitting on the table, new leads, no responses, people in follow-ups. It gives you a really good report when it comes to exporting what you have in your pipeline. Right now, you probably won't be doing that because you're going to be filling up your pipeline. But as you begin to fill up your pipeline and sort the way you want and set up all of your information the way you want, let's say you want to just start all over and you don't want to have any of these opportunities in here. Go to your pipeline, delete, and when you hit delete, it says this will delete all the opportunities. Do you wish to continue? So you can wipe it out and start it all over. Just remember, you'll have to create a new pipeline because there's no way to get that back. You really don't want to delete all of your pipelines if you can help it because you'll lose all of the data within there. What we really recommend doing is before you do any type of delete, I would strongly recommend exporting your entire pipeline so at least you've got a record before you go to delete it. Just know you can export and then go and delete your pipeline, but at least you've got a backup in case you need to go back and re-add people to a new pipeline. That's how you export your opportunities and how you can delete a pipeline. You should feel really comfortable when it comes to managing your opportunity, your stages and statuses. I showed you how to manually add an opportunity by creating a contact. One of the things I'd like to show you is, let's say we're in our contacts and we're going through our list here, and I'm going to click on this particular contact. It's really important to note that when you're in the contact, you can scroll down all the way to the bottom, and when you see opportunities, we can easily add that contact right here. We found them and create it. And when you create the opportunity, you'll see right here, this is the opportunity. And if you want to remove them from an opportunity, you can easily select edit. And then you can just delete it if you want to remove them altogether. So it's very easy to add a new opportunity by using the quick flash, by going into the specific contacts, and then of course going into the opportunities. Lots of ways to. The other way to add an opportunity is inside your conversations. So let's say you're having a conversation with this person and you want to come over here to the third column. You can create an opportunity right here inside of your conversations by selecting the pipeline, then the stage, and then the status. And what's great is you can also add your opportunity source, assign it, and add some dollar amounts to it if you'd like. Really easy to create and add an opportunity from your contacts, your conversations, and within the actual opportunities tab. So we set up our pipelines, we created some contacts and opportunities. We also added in some source information. We also learned how to add, filter, and even export our opportunities. One of the things that we talked about as far as opportunities go is that it shows up on your dashboard. We'll go through more of this in dashboard training, but the dashboard allows you to see from a bird's eye view what's open, what's working, what's abandoned, what's lost, based on the way you selected your pipeline. So you can see everything with a bird's eye view. So this is your dashboard. This is how you would see who's in your different pipelines, and you can see where they're at. And then you can even sort that by date. So if you only wanted to see what was going on this month, you could actually see what's going on this month. You can see your wins, your losses, your sales, your stages, and all of that. And the other thing we talked about was source reports. You can use this when it comes to setting up smart lists. So if you go to your contacts and you wanted to create the contact source type, you could actually create smart lists based on call-ins, leads. So using that source from the opportunity will allow you to really manage your business and see where things are coming in from. And I like doing that because if Facebook ads are working for you and you have Facebook ad, if your website is working for you or your chat widget, so you want to make sure that you put the source. Where did they come from? And try to be as consistent as possible because then you can create those smart lists based on the specific source information. And remember, you can add that in the opportunity And you can also add it right here in the contact where it says contact source. So managing that contact source is so valuable when it comes to knowing who and where that lead came from, and you can do tons of things with it. Even inside of automation workflows, if you were to create a workflow, let's go into triggers and I'm going to type in opportunity. So I talked earlier about how you can use triggers. So when they move from one stage to another, look what you can do. The opportunity can be changed. It can be created. The opportunity status can change. The opportunity can be created. The opportunity itself can change. And you can even have stale opportunities. So when you start going to build your workflows, if you created the opportunity status change or opportunity change, you would then be able to add filters, and you would say in the pipeline. And what's the pipeline? Or you could say is the status, is it won, lost, or abandoned? So you can see there's lots of things that you can do in workflows when it comes to managing those opportunities. So you can see there's lots of things you can do with opportunities. But before we do, one of the things that I love to show people is when you go into marketing automation, and let's just create a new automation. Let's say if we created that trigger and they came in from form is, let's just say the form is or was our website. So we could say form is, website form, contact. So if we have the trigger that says trigger form submitted, look what you can do right here. Once the form is submitted, you can create an opportunity. So I'm going to say opportunity. And right here where it says create or update opportunity, I'm just going to select create opportunity. I'm going to say this is a website lead. I want it to come into my sales pipeline. This is going to come into my new lead pipeline. My opportunity is going to be the contact name. And if you memorize this right here, contact.name with the little squigglies, it's going to show up. And the contact source right here would be website form, would be website. It could be Facebook. It could be Google. Make sure you save your opportunity right here, and then you want to make sure that your status is showed as open. And then down here it says allow opportunity to move to any previous stage in the pipeline. Yes, that's what we want to do, so that way we can manage them throughout the pipeline. I'm going to go ahead and save, and now when somebody comes in through my website form, it will now automatically create an opportunity. And once that opportunity is created, it's going to show right inside your opportunities under your new leads. What does this do? This allows you to effectively manage your business. When you wake up, when you get ready for work, you're going to open up your conversations. You're going to reply to those conversations. Then you're going to go to your opportunities pipeline, your sales pipeline. Do I have any new leads? Who do I need to follow up with? What do I do next? So every day you can actually have your own process, conversing with customers through your conversations, managing those opportunities and contacts all within one single quick setting. And then once you're done, go back to running your business and doing what you need to do. And keep in mind, you can manage all of your opportunities, your conversations, and your contacts, everything we talked about, right from the mobile app on the go. And when you get back to your desk, it's going to show up right here, and you will know exactly what to do every day when it comes to running your business and communicating effectively with your potential leads and your customers. And that concludes opportunities. So I think it's time that you go work on making sure that you've got your pipelines all set up and start entering in those contacts in your opportunities.
Oh, we looked like we made it.